Happy Halloween, it's Jim. Since today's Halloween, I thought I'd talk about my favorite horror series, which shares the same name. A story about a serial killer named Michael Myers, and another story about a warlock who wants to kill every living child in the world. Doesn't this series just sound awesome from that? Anyway, since I don't have that much time, no intro, no music, let's just dig right into it. I guess I gotta clarify that I'm gonna, individually review all of them. Okay, never mind. Well, of course, first, ironically, Halloween is the Blu-ray. This is an awesome Blu-ray. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm not gonna really tell you anything about the plots because we already know. I'm just gonna tell you what I thought of them, what I give them, and why I cherish them. This wasn't the first Halloween movie I saw. I'll get into that when I get to it. This was like the first one. Well, actually, it wasn't the first one I bought either. I bought 1, 2, and 4 in the same day. We actually, had sort of a mini marathon. Of course, we also had the other one I had. Watched it with it. I actually saw the Friday the 13th movies way before I saw this one. And when I saw Friday the 13th Part 1, I actually liked it. For maybe like 5 minutes, it was my favorite horror movie. That quickly became Christine. Then it became Halloween. But back to Friday the 13th. I liked the first one. When we got to the second one, I thought it was okay. I didn't like the fact that they killed off, what's her name, Alice. But after watching the DVD extras, I understand why, because she was stalked by deranged fan. But when we got to the third one, I just clearly straight out thought that one sucked. And, I mean, if you like these movies, that's okay. That's I'm talking about my opinion. Not that it matters. And I was like, ugh. Of course, when I got the rest, I'll do a Friday the 13th video. But I just, long and behold, I couldn't get into the Friday the 13th movies. So after seeing Christine, I saw the Halloween movie I bought. But then we got this one, and I just absolutely loved it. I love the fact that it's not really gory at all, but, it's still pretty cool. Who cares? Some movies can have gore, some can't. The ending to this one just, creeped me out for a little bit. I'll get into that when I get to the second one, but I just love Dr. Loomis, and I love Donald Pleasence. He's awesome in just about everything he's done. I actually haven't seen everything he's done, so I mean, I've seen the Bond movie, I've seen stuff like from the 70s, and I've seen stuff from the 80s, but from what I've seen, I like. So I give this one a 10 out of 10. This is clearly my all-time favorite horror movie. And next, Halloween 2, More of the Night He Came Home. Funny thing, also, actually not funny thing, actually a drooling experience, right? We bought 1, 2, and 4. I did in the same day. We were watching the first one and we loved it. We were getting ready to put the second one in, and they told me it was at my stepbrother's house, and his mom, who has always been a bitch to me, told me it's time for us to go home, for me to go home. And Corey was, damn, I don't want to give names. My stepbrother came with me. He was going to stay over, and we were going to watch, Halloween. It was about like a 15-minute drive from his house to my house at that time, and we were just so anxious just to watch this one. I had the Universal DVD, of course, and we were just, are we almost there? Come on. And it got to the point where she was starting to get pissed off. When we immediately got to my house, I walked straight from the door. Didn't even say anything to my mom. She was saying something. Hey, how was it? I ignored her. Of course, that's what she does to me nowadays. But we went to my room, we put this in, and we just watched it, and we absolutely loved it. The ending was just awesome. I had already known he had burnt scars in his later movies, but I was anxious to find out how, and I found out through this one, and I loved it. I loved the ending. I actually like the alternative ending a lot more because Lance Guest, he's really cool. He's the only thing watchable about Jaws 4. But anyway, I give this one like a 9 out of 10. Right? Yeah, a 9 out of 10. That's fair. Next one, I'm not going to talk about much because I want to do a separate video on it. Of course, that's Halloween 3. I love this movie. I want to do my own separate video about it because some people hate on this because of the fact that Michael Myers is not in it, and just shut up. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on this because there's a lot to talk about. So I'm going to skip a hold of this one. What I think about it, it's my second favorite in the series. I give this one a full 10 out of 10 like I did the first one. Shows how much I love it. Next, Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. Yeah, that's the advertising title, I think. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the next one's an advertising title. That's the actual title that's in the movie. But this one's pretty good. My only problem is, I kind of wish they used the original script that they written in about a week, which is kind of chunky. But that script, from what I can, from what I've heard about it, was way better. It bridged 2 and 3, not 3, 2 and 4 together, because in the opening you saw how Dr. Loomis and Michael survived. And this one, they just say they almost burned to death, which was kind of weird for some fans, like, huh? I swear, if they did that beginning, this movie, instead of being a 5.7 on IMDb, will be above a 6. Yeah. But I love it. The original script had, this big epic scene, like, in a house that was on fire between him and Sheriff Meeker. But I think that wasn't in the budget, so they couldn't do that. And Sheriff Meeker was supposed to die. I guess the tiniest problem I have with this is the way the title is, 4. Halloween 4. I don't like that 4. I wish it was Roman numeral. I know it's nitpicking, but, that would have been way cooler. Anyway, I give this one an 8 out of 10. There we go. Next is one I'm not really a big fan of, but it's okay. It's Halloween 5. Again, I don't like the number 5. I wish it was Roman numeral, for fuck's sake. This is the one with the advertising title. Revenge of Michael Myers was not the title of the movie. In the movie, when it comes on, it just says Halloween 5. Of course, we all know that. But, Revenge of Michael Myers is a advertising title, so I don't like the title, by the way. Anyway, the problems I have with it, the bumbling cops, which is a reference to Last House on the Left, the original. A lot of the characters, I was really hoping they would die, and of course they did, and that's one of the things I actually liked about it. I don't know why I brought it up, but I didn't like the fact that they killed off Rachel. I really liked her, and if they were going to kill her off, why did they kill her off so soon? That's one of the mistakes they admit to right there. Honestly, I wish the Tina character, I wish she could have been replaced with the Rachel character, because actually a few fans actually agree with me on that. Actually, not a few fans, a lot of fans. Other fans wish that she would have stayed alive, and I wish that too, but if she had been the Tina character, I would have been satisfied. Plus, we don't really know if Tina dies, so, if that was, Rachel was the Tina character, then Rachel could have come back. I mean, she's, stabbed right here, but, yeah, come on, it's Hollywood. They can do anything. What I give the movie, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's enjoyable, kind of like a bullshit way. Honestly, if you want to complete the collection, you obviously have to get it. Like I said, a lot of fans don't like it. There's a few that do like it, and there's people like me who think it's eh. And next we have a movie that took basically 6 years to make, was stuck in 6 years of development. I'm sorry, 5 years, or 4, whatever. This movie went through so many drafts. One of the many rumors was that Jamie Lee Curtis was going to be in this one, and it was going to be set in space. Yeah, that followed for the made-for Sci-Fi Channel movie, Jason X. Oh, wait a minute. That wasn't made for Sci-Fi. Anyway, I'm talking about Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. First off, the Angry Video Game Nerd actually pointed out that the titles of the sequels were kind of following in the Pink Panther fashion. Like, if they had made a 7th one in this style, it probably would have been called The Trial of Michael Myers. Although I don't really think you can count 5 since it's only an advertising title. Now this one, this is a theatrical version. It's confusing as hell. I don't like it at all. I mean, I do like the last half of the movie. I think the producer's cut is better, but to me, the superior version is the TV cut, which is like a hybrid of both. You know, it's a theatrical cut with 10 minutes of the producer's cut put in, and the scenes that they put in just make the movie a lot better. Like throughout the movie, they explain how Jamie and Michael are supposedly killed in an explosion. Yet, what the fuck are they talking about? We don't see anything like that, do we? No. Yet in the TV cut, which is the scene taken from the producer's cut, you actually see the ending from part 5, and then after Jamie walks out, she sees Michael being dragged into a van, and then the guy in black that was introduced in the 5th one, you know, jumps up and grabs her. We see the van driving away, and then the station blows up. So that scene made a lot more sense. If they had left that in the movie, a lot of people wouldn't have been, huh? TV cut was actually the first version of the movie I saw, and I actually had it on tape. And once I got the DVD, I passed it on to you know, to a friend of mine. And when I found out this, you know, wasn't the same version, I was really irritated. This pissed me off, but I'm not going to go back and ask my friend for it back. I'm too much of a nice guy. But Halloween 6, you know, the theatrical cut, I'll give a 4 out of 10. The producer's cut, I give a 7. And the TV cut, I give a 7.5. So, that's that one. Now for the next one. I like it, but every time I see it, I can't help but think this. Now I know I'm not alone on this. You know, everyone thinks this when they hear about Halloween H2O. Should I do the rest of the video wearing this mask? You know, it would be kind of cool. No. It'd be too hard to hear me, wouldn't it? Anyway, back to H2O. Yes. The guy who wrote the first 2 screenings, he's pretty cool, you know. This movie's awesome, but it's not his fault. It's not, you know, it's the Weinstein's fault. This movie is a example of how they are. It just tells you that they are greedy ass bastards. Okay, this movie originally had different music that was actually made for this movie. Yet, apparently, from what I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure it is, because from what I understand, the Weinsteins are dicks. It was their idea to take the real music out and replace it with music from Scream. Now, I've heard that they did the same thing with Mimic. I haven't seen Mimic yet, but I want to. Anyway, back to the movie. The only other problem I think I had was you could see Michael's eye throughout the whole fucking movie. And the fact that his mask changed almost every other scene. Just pick one mask and use it. You know, the mask they used in the beginning, which is the mask from Halloween 6, they should have used that one. Because, you know what? I like that one. I didn't like any of the other masks. One of them was a fucking CGI mask. And, okay, I fucking hate CGI. Unless it's really needed. You know, like giant monsters and shit. Or to remove wires, which they didn't do in this one. But really, just to do a mask? Why? Well, apparently they CGI'd the mask over another mask from what I heard. I don't know if it's true. That's the reason why this fucking movie needs a better treatment, you know? It was a big hit. Give it the fucking Blu-ray treatment it needs. Put a fucking commentary on it. Oh, by the way, this is directed by the same guy who directed Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3. But this returns Laurie back to the series. You know, they say they ignored the previous movies, but they didn't fully ignore. I'm pretty sure that at some point they were planning to bridge the movies together. That would have been cool. And I wish they had, you know, got the chance to do that. Because, you know, apparently Laurie's character supposedly died in a car accident. And apparently, you know, in the Halloween 4 and 5 6, you know, she is dead. She's presumed dead. And no reason is given, so that's why I think this series actually follows. I mean, there are some things like, we haven't seen them in 20 years or whatever, but this is how Hollywood, they can always bridge something together. I think there was a comic, from what I've heard, that came out in the early 2000s that did that, that bridged the gap between 6 and 7. I want to find that, and I want to read it. Much like, with Friday the 13th, there's a comic that bridges the gap between 8 and 9, and, I'd like to read that too, even though I'm not a big fan. But H2O, I loved it. I give this one another 8 out of 10. Halloween Resurrection. Now, the first 10 minutes of this movie is awesome. I didn't like how they killed Laurie. I know Jamie didn't. It was Jamie Lee Curtis's idea. But I kind of wish they could at least talk to her into like doing the whole movie and I guess dying at the end or whatever, or leaving it open ended, which we already know she wouldn't have come back. But still, come on. And just one thing I really hated is it was basically too modern, or I don't know. You'd probably say about the other ones at the time, but Internet, no. But Halloween, no. And I hated all the characters. There's that chick that's, in this love relationship, or supposedly one with a high school student, I think he's younger. I don't know. I haven't watched the movie in some time. It's on AMC right now, actually. I got the TV over there, and it's on right now. But I hate this one. Yeah, I give this one a 3 out of 10. And I think I'm being too nice giving it that. Well, you know what we do with trash? We throw it. Sadly, the sole producer of all the Halloween movies, Mustafa Akkad, he was tragically killed, and I'm not going to go into how, but I'll be honest with you, before I get into this, I love Rob Zombie, but I don't like his movies. If you like his movies, that's okay, but I'm just not a big fan of them. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Ugh. The problem with remakes of classic horror movies, but Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, is they tried to dig too far into the origin story, which is a big no-no. I mean, it's okay for maybe the first 10 minutes of the movie, but this one expands it to the first, 45, 50-something minutes? Anyway, the last half of the movie just seems like a quick rehash of the original, with a few things new thrown in, like a different ending, but that's it. I hated the Laurie Strode character. I wanted her to get her fucking throat cut. Okay, I can understand if they didn't want to copy Jamie Lee Curtis. But, the character of Laurie should be a likable character. In this one, she is not. Another problem with it is Annie lives, okay? Danielle Harris from the 4 and 5, which she's cool. I like a lot of her stuff. Last Boy Scout and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Can't really think off the top of my head what else she's been. But she was... they should have killed her. I mean, why did they let her live, and yet she's in the second one? She has no potential of being in that one, by the way. But I give this one like a 2 out of 10. Honestly, if you're going to well, I'm sorry, let me get into the fact. Alright, they gave Michael a weakness for his family. I mean, he killed his sister, but he didn't really kill his mom. Let's just say if I remade Halloween, which I never will be, or if someone else did, the way they should have done it is Michael brutally murders every one of his family members, including his mom and his father, which is not in here. Apparently they say he's dead, but I'm sure they continue this series of movies. They'll probably bring him in at some point. Well, I think this is trash. Damn, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, nothing. And next, and last, the shitload of the pot. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Damn. I don't even really want to talk about this one. Okay, one problem I will talk about is Michael, most of the movie, is not wearing a mask. He's dressed like a gangster. He's wearing a hoodie. I'm sitting there wondering the whole time, in this one he talks. In the director's cut, he talks, okay? I'm shocked that he didn't threaten to pop a cap in anyone's ass. I know coming from a white guy like me, that just sounded weird. And hope you thought it was funny. But this one, the character of Lori is even unlikable. She is just worser in this one. Like, she says fuck like every other sentence. And I agree with the movie Phantom. I don't like Rob Zombie's dialogue because he inserts, the word fuck like every other second. It sounds like Ozzy Osbourne directed this fucking movie. He just said fuck after fuck after fuck. And like I said, in Rob Zombie's Halloween, the character Annie has no potential of being in this one. And of course she gets killed off, what was the point of letting her live in the first one anyway? Nothing. What do I give this one? A 0 out of 10. I'll give the theatrical cut. I'll be nice and give the theatrical version a 1. Yeah, I cracked it. I cracked it, huh? Oh well. It was trash anyway. Most recently, the third one is stuck in development hell. I sure hope that one gets made. They could just re-envision the franchise and whatever, or remake it. I guess I'm not too against it. I actually would prefer it if they continue the old series. But that's all. Hope you enjoyed. Happy Halloween.